some fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening, everyone. I just want to have a quick, it won't be a long show this. I just want to have a quick chat about some of the things going on at Arsenal and get your views. Ivan Toney, player that is allowed to come back into training in a few, I think about 10 days' time. Quality player when we compare him to our strikers. I mean, the stats there on the screen speak for themselves. You know, in the Championship, 48 games, 31 goals, 10 assists. All right, yeah, and a red card, fair play. But that to me just shows intensity of what the player wants to achieve. Last season, 33 appearances, 20 goals, 4 assists. I honestly think this, and tell me what you think in the chat. I honestly think this is a player that Arsenal should go and get right now. Don't wait until January because his price will go back up and Brentford will want not to lose him. So let's do it now. Let's go and show ambition and get this player, because I think he will be an absolute credit to Arsenal with the midfield we've got, with the right midfield, I'd say. I think he's an absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. You know, I mean, I don't want to keep beating up Eddie Nketiah, but I'll get rid of this screen here. I mean, if I can find it up here somewhere, it's hang on, where's it gone? It's comparative terms. I mean, look at the stats, right? You know, 2020 to 2021, he played 17 games, 2 goals. 21, 22. He played 21 games, 5 goals. Last season, 20 games, 9 starts, came on at 24 goals. I mean, I'm sorry, that is bloody rubbish. And all right, he scored the other day against Forest. Okay, fair play. Everybody gassing it up. But he's not the levels for Arsenal Football Club. Good evening, Guna Gathering. Good to see you, my friend. Hope things are well with you. Rycav New says, hope you're good, Jez. What you think we're going to do this weekend? Win, lose or draw? I think we'll win. I think we're going to win 3-0 quite comfortably. If Arteta gets the team set up right. I don't want all this nonsense that he seems to develop recently, where we've got Partey at right back, not the place for him. Tomiyasu at left back, White, Saliba shuffled across. We know the best position for Benjamin White is right back. I just think sometimes Arteta is trying to overcomplicate, trying to be too clever. But unfortunately, he's not clever enough, because there's way too many clever managers out there that will read that, see what he's doing. He's done it twice, and it really hasn't worked, has it? Let's be honest. I mean, the Forest game, we got away with it. We got lucky the other night at Palace, and it took a penalty to win the game. And as Carl says, buy now. Toney would absolutely smash it for us. Yeah, go and get him. He wants to come. He said he wants to play for Arsenal. He admitted he's a Liverpool fan, but he wants to come to Arsenal. The fact he won't even have to move his house, family, come to Arsenal Football Club. You know, I mean, you look at the stats you've just seen. The difference in levels is incredible. Eddie Nketiah, nothing personal. He couldn't do it at Leeds United. And he hardly got played in the end. And yet he's come back to Arsenal and he's no better. Yet last season, I think the message was on the wall when he started those games and he didn't score. And Arteta got the arse and said, well, basically, you can sit on the bench. Well, sell him and go and get a proven Premier League proven striker, Ivan Toney. Oh, I hear people say, oh, yeah, but we can't play him till next January. I don't give a damn about that. The fact remains, he will train with the squad. He will get used to the squad. He will get known to the players. He will be playing in practice games at London Colney. He will then straight away drop into the team. This is a player we need. Will we go and get him? I have great doubts, because I think the problem with Arsenal, right, we're trying to be like it was back in the day. Oh, classy Arsenal. We don't want to work with a player like that. Well, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of players in the Arsenal squad that have done naughty stuff and they were never ostracised for it. But the fact is, this is a player we need. And I just want to say, bring on this one. What has happened to Kieran Tierney? What's he done wrong? Probably, in my view, the best left back in the Premier League. And yet, can't get a start. Cannot get a start. Same as Trossard. We bought him from Brighton. Doesn't get a start. What is this manager doing? Seriously. You know, I'd love to know. I'd love someone to explain to me what I'm missing out on here, because obviously I'm don't understand what's going down. I seriously don't. Lenny Moon says, big up, brother Jeds. Hope you're well. Still no striker. Exactly. Yet we can go to Brentford and buy this guy. And his value has gone down right now. His value has dropped because if I can get it up on here and get it there, hang on. Let's have a look. He was rated at 50 million. He's now dropped, and I'm convinced that's because he can't play. But he's rated at £35 million. Brentford wouldn't accept that. Of course they wouldn't. But if we went in there and said, we'll give you 45 plus some add-ons, whatever, I think they'd take it. We bought their keeper and go and do the business. Edu, Arteta, just go and do it, because we are going in to challenge for the Premier League. We've also got to challenge in the Champions League, and we don't have a 20 goal a season man. Jesus isn't going to do it. Eddie Nketiah isn't going to do it. Martinelli isn't going to do it, and nor is Saka. So we are going to be in a bit of a shit show unless we do that. Jimino says the Raya deal being a loan was due to FFP, so would we be able to afford Toney? Yeah, if we offload some of the crap we've got, Rob Holding to balance the books, Tavares, Lokonga. Yeah, I hear today there's talk about Pepe maybe maybe going off to Saudi, to a Saudi club. I hear that. But that's how big clubs do business. Chelsea do it year in, year out. Why is it Arsenal cannot offload the dross that we've got? I mean, dear God, we've still got El Neni, a player that should have been sold 18 months, 2 years ago. But they're still here. And they're just not the levels that we need. Here to there says, Ivan can put us over the top. Tony's performances at the Emirates, Etihad and Anfield were world class. Remember what he did to Saliba all day at the Emirates? Yep, turned him inside out, put him in his back pocket and said, see you later. It makes absolute sense. I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand why Arsenal can't go and do this. If we sell players, which we should be selling, right, we can go and buy him. Seriously, we can go and buy him. But no, we don't, because we like to be classy Arsenal. You know, we don't want to deal with this sort of situation. Well, let's remember some of the things that have gone on at Arsenal over the years. Yeah. I'm not going to mention them, but we know what we're talking about. I also want to just say this. I'll say this isn't going to be a great long show tonight, but I see that Jesus is back in training, which is a positive. Let's put it there straight away. That is a positive. I know this. Anthony says, "Big up, Jez. I think Tony will be Ivan invitation to the club. If we get him, he Premier League proven will score goals in a better team." Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The fact he likes Arsenal, he said he wants to play for. He likes Arsenal. I haven't heard him say he wants to play, but he likes Arsenal. So it's easy, isn't it? Gunnar Gathering says, big fan of Tony, reminds me of Wrighty, Ian Wright. Yeah, I tend to go with you on that one, man. And yeah, I think he's a bit of a fox in the box. Luke says, hi, Jez. Hi, mate. How hope you're well. Static. Hey, Jez. Static. I tried that link you sent to me. It don't work, man. I don't know what's going on. I cannot find your thumbnail at all, and I can't find you. I really don't know what's happening. Sorry, that's thrown me now. Here to there. Edu Arteta cannot allow Tony to go to Chelsea. That is a problem, because that's the sort of thing that will happen. Chelsea will come in behind our backs, or maybe another club, and we'll lose out. And now I get it. I get it that we've got Jesus coming back. He's a quality player. He's a tricky little technical player, but he's not going to get us 20 goals a season. He didn't at Man City. He couldn't even get on the pitch when Man City didn't. They played all that time without a striker. So I don't get this at all. I really don't get this. Quickly, before I have to bounce, Kai Havertz. You know, I've been saying for a while, I think there's a player there, but is it purely down to lack of confidence? He had a terrible time at Chelsea. Is that the problem? I honestly think that may be it. But I know he's going to get a run of games. I know he is. Hi, Sean. Hope you're well, mate. I just think he'd been shoehorned into the team. I mean, let's be honest. When we got him, Arteta said, I don't know where I'm going to play him. I said this last night on the show, and I can't remember who it was. One of the guys said that it was Arteta's purchase. He wanted him. Okay, why buy a player you don't know where you're going to play him then? And you spent £65 million on that player. Good point, TJ. I'm linked with Saudi. Everybody's linked with Saudi now. Yeah, every player in the world is. Send Holden El Nani over there for a used bag of balls. Yep, absolutely. But I'm sorry, Saudi teams aren't going to be interested in buying them. They're just not the levels. Gunnar Gavin says, in my opinion, Mo is purely there as a squad player, coach in the making, not really first team. Nope, not at all. What is happening to Tierney, mate? I'd love to know. I don't know. I think this has got to be another arrogant display by Arteta in that he prefers Zinchenko playing inverted, which I think is absolute bollocks, because how many times last season, right, did Zinchenko cost us a result because he's out of position? He was still sat in midfield, which is what Arteta wanted him to do, but he didn't come striding back to actually come back and help. He was trotting back, yeah? No, you run your arse off, mate, to get back and support and help the team. I just don't get it. I just don't understand what's going on. I really don't. I find it absolutely frustrating. And the start of this lineup this season, why? You had a proven setup last season. The only player we've lost from last season in that starting lineup is Granit Xhaka, right? And that's probably the best season he's ever played, in my book. Never liked him after his disrespect to the club and the fans, but he showed passion and arrogance, not arrogance, intensity. Yeah, and a little bit of arrogance. All right, he cost us at Liverpool, in my opinion, when the Anfield crowd 2-0 down, they were very quiet, and that's always a good thing to have at any ground. But yeah, he cocked it up there. But the thing is, the other day, when we were playing Nottingham Forest at home, you know, all of a sudden we're under pressure and Arteta goes defensive at the Emirates. That says to me he doesn't know his starting or best 11 even now. And he's been here 4 years nearly. By now, he should have sorted out that crap. Here to there says, go back to the Palace game and watch how weak Zinchenko was in the duels and how he got beat every time, one-on-one isolated. He is going to cost us dearly. With Timber out, the book is out. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I don't like this inverted bullshit. It's going to cost us big. We cannot afford, guys, to do that, right, in the Champions League. If we come up against the big boys, they're going to wipe us apart. They're going to absolutely clear us out. And I think, unfortunately, Arteta's arrogance, he will go for it. He believes in what he believes. I'd love to know what the players think, right? I think that if you actually had the chance to ask them secretly, off camera, no publication, they'd be saying, not sure this guy knows what he's doing. Arsenal since 87 says Jez Tierney was left out of training today. Well, is he off somewhere? Because I'll tell you what, if I was Kieran Tierney, I'd be asking for a transfer. We wanted that player so much. We went all out to buy him from Celtic. And now we don't play him. We'd rather play Tomiyasu or Zinchenko there. I mean, what's that saying to Kieran Tierney? If that was any of us in the chat here, if that was any of us, we'd be saying, sod this. I want out. I want to go and actually play for a team that wants me to play. And there's teams out there. Newcastle were interested. You know, so I think it would be an absolute ridiculous thing to out that player, because I think we're going to need him. I honestly think we're going to need that player, because Zinchenko will not stay fit all season. Tomiyasu will not stay fit all season. All right, then we can fit in Kivwa. Okay. I don't think he's a bad player, personally, from what I've seen of him at end of last season. Gabriel, I don't like seeing him there. I'd rather the backup. I'll be honest. White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivwa, Tierney. That I don't like Zinchenko. I don't think he's the levels. Why did Pep Guardiola want to sell him? Why? Because he wasn't good enough. He couldn't get in the team. And if Pep Guardiola, who is levels above this apprentice, doesn't want him, why did we buy him? I just don't understand it. Absolutely just don't get it. And it's going to cost us huge, unfortunately. Apparently, Pepe is back training with the squad, but linked to go away to Saudi. Everybody, as TJ says, is linked to Saudi. Maybe even I could be linked to Saudi. I don't know. Maybe they want me to come and do a YouTube channel. Who knows? I don't know. But it's just ridiculous in my book what's going on. I just don't get what he is up to. But anyway, let's move on. We've got Fulham at home on 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. I'm thinking we're going to go. I think we should win that 3-4-0. No disrespect to Fulham, they're a half decent side, and I will be tomorrow evening doing a pre-match review of that game. Gunnar Gavin says, just get onto this. It's not what I would want to do, but KT will end up in Spain. Yeah, could do, man. Could do. I wouldn't be at all surprised if a team came like Sevilla or even Real Madrid came sniffing. He's decent. He's a decent left back. And it showed to me when he was running down that left wing, not so much last season, the season before, he's one of the only players that can cross a bloody ball. Let's get it right, you know. Jamino says, really hope for Tierney's career that he goes back to Celtic and wins some more league and titles easily, so that he goes to a big European club and wins some trophies. Yeah, will he go back to Celtic after where he's been? No disrespect to the Scottish Premier League, it's not all that, is it? You know, it's two teams that compete for that every year. I think he'd more likely want to go to maybe somewhere like Newcastle, where he would get played week in, week out, or, as the Gunnar Gathering said, end up in Spain, end up in a top team in Spain. I think that would be great for him. At Gunnar ER, Rangers are, see you next Tuesdays. Hope they fold. They can take Arteta with them. Yeah, well, yeah, it'd be nice. Saudi, the history and more coming soon. Yeah, mate, I'd do it. If they were to pay me 10 million a year, that's cheap. I mean, let's be honest, that's cheap. Seriously. Arsenal Manic says, a week to go, more or less the same squad as last season. Yet last season came up well, second best against Man City and lack of depth. This time we have 4 comps. It's a joke. Yeah, it is. Excuse me. And I think Eddie and Arteta can't see it. They can't see it. They are going to rely on Eddie Nketiah, Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. Mate, sorry. Much as I respect all of those players, I do, ain't going to win you jack shit. I just don't understand, man. Domino, Guna, ER Facts, they're only 11 years old after being reformed in 2012. They actually think they're bigger than Celtic. Yeah, they had to reform, didn't they? They got kicked out of the league. TJ Warren's TV says, big up Jess in the chat. Going to wrap up some work. Catch you all in a bit. Big up to you, mate. TJ is streaming, I think, tomorrow night. I think. Yes, he is. Yeah, it's the American Idiot Show. All go and sub to TJ Warren. Nearly on 500 subs. Let's get him to 500, then to 1,000. Let's get him there. Top guy, top fella. Tamino, Carl Rossi, not even Wexford District League level. I can't stand them. Henry Guna says, hope Tierney, Trossard, Gabriel all escape from this fraud manager. Yep, absolutely. Carl says, at Jamino. Sean McGonigal says, I'd take Jez as Arsenal manager. Mate, I'll tell you what, if I was Arsenal manager, I could set that team up in an hour and I'd be getting rid of a lot of the dross and getting in a proper bloody striker. We need a striker. We ain't got one. We haven't had one for 2 solid seasons now. So let's get one. We're in the Champions League, going for the Premier League, going to be challenging for cups, right, as we should be. Or is it going to be another season where he throws away the FA Cup and he throws away the Carrier Bag Cup? Because to me, I'm sorry, disrespecting the FA Cup, personally, the way I was brought up with it, is an absolute bloody shit show joke. And I would tell him to his face that you're an absolute prick for doing that. Good you are. Jez, who you want to be next manager? I'd want anyone but that prick. I would take, and I know it's going to be controversial, I'd take Simeone because he wouldn't put up a lot of shit that goes on at this club. That's for sure. I know he doesn't play the great, pretty football. That is for sure. I'd take Xavi. Honestly. I never wanted Unai Emery to leave. I thought he was absolute class. And I think he got totally disrespected by the Arsenal Football Club. And this is my personal opinion here, people, right? I think Arsenal got him in, yeah, because they were waiting. They were waiting to get Arteta. I sit back and think about that now. I'm thinking Unai Emery was going unbeaten. I can't remember how many games he went for now. But it was like a decent performance. All right, he didn't have a great start the next season, but he wasn't supported. He didn't get given £200 million. And look at the shit he had to play with. Seriously, in that Europa League game, right, players didn't turn up. It was just an embarrassment. And I felt so sorry for that man. And he showed utmost respect when he brought his team to the Emirates in the Europa League and wiped our ass. He didn't give it a big one. He just shook hands and went off down the tunnel. That is a man of absolute class and magnitude in my book. And I'll tell you what, Aston Villa, I think, are bloody lucky to have him. I really do. I think he's going to do greatness there. But it is what it is. He's gone now, and it's too late. Arsenal manager says Trossard can't even get a start of Havertz and Nketiah. No. Yeah, this is the player that we wanted. We bought him from Brighton. Now he don't play. He comes on as a sub. Way too late. Bullshit. Jamino, Diego Simeone yes, he's ruthless. And that's what you need to be a good manager. He needs to be ruthless. And it, you know, to win, to be a winner, you have to be ruthless. Wenger was at points. George Graham was. So there you go. It is what it is. Annie says, does YouTube pay well? Not to me, mate, because I'm only a very small channel. The bigger boys, they earn, I think, quite good money. That's the way it is. I'd take company. At least he did it with Burnley. Yeah, fair play. I'm not sure, but one thing I'd never do, I'd never take an ex-Arsenal legend like Henri, Vieira, Bergkamp. I would never want to see them fail. Personally, my view. Smash the lights up, people. Let's get it up there. It helps. And if anybody's new, please give us a sub. I'm only 3 away from 4,050 substitutions or subscribers. Anyway, there you go. Here to there, Klopp or Simeone, you and I would have won big for us if he was backed. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. If he'd been backed the way this manager has been backed, he would have won us a lot more than we've suffered for nearly coming this November 4 years. Jamino says, I watch Atletico quite a good bit. They're not part of the bus merchants in the league, but in Europe they're absolutely lethal for clean sheets, fights, time wasting yellow cards. Yeah, well, okay. Sometimes you play dirty and you win. That's the way it goes. If Unai was given 700 mil, we would have won the Premier League by now. I absolutely totally agree with you there on that one, my friend. This guy, Arteta, has had everything he could have ever asked for. Jez, a question, Jez, what are your thoughts on Vic Ackers? An unrivaled record of 32 major trophies over 22 years. That is with the Arsenal ladies, I believe. I actually met him. I actually did, when I was a referee, I did do a pre-season friendly for the Arsenal ladies against another club where the Arsenal ladies won 10-0. And I actually spoke to him. I asked him if I could have his coat, but he wouldn't give it to me. But there you go. Never mind. Let's get this off the screen because it's annoying me. Oregon Gooner, Dow's in the chat. Hey, mate, hope you're well. Macy says Arteta is a coward. I think he's just a bloody prick and he's an absolute arrogant arse, mate, personally. And I think he just destroys teams. Would you take Pochettino, Jez? I don't know now. I don't know on that one. That's a great question, but I'm not sure. Nice show here, Jez. I see you line them up for the week. I will always try to watch. It's always top quality from you. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to try and do something every day. It's a new regime that I've been told by a certain person I should be doing. And I'm going to be doing Arsenal history content and other stuff as it comes, as it goes. I'm not going to be promising I'm going to do it every day, but I will try. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Henry Goodness says, Mancini heading over to Saudi to manage their national team. We should have gone for him. Yeah, why not? Why not? The thing is, guys, this guy ain't going to get sacked anytime soon, right? He ain't going to get sacked anytime soon. They're going to give him another run. Personally, if we're in the shit stage in the Champions League group stage at Christmas, he has to go. If we're not second, first, maybe third by Christmas in the Premier League, he has to be sacked. If you don't, after Christmas, it's too late. It's too late, and we know where we're going to end up. Guna ER says, do you mean no one can win at Spurs, though? Well, they can. Arsenal did. Guna Arfax is the history of Tottenham. Fine. Unai Emery doing a fantastic job at Villa. Yeah, he is. He's a class manager, man. Absolute class. And he would have been good. Yeah, I'm going to wait and see what happens with that. I'm out with the jury on that at the moment. Really? Oh, that's not good, mate. That is not good. Ravens were out of meth. Shit. Klopp can be got by Arsenal, by the way. Yeah, I would take Jurgen Klopp seriously. I think he's a class manager. I think his days, personally, with what's happening at Liverpool right now, rumours Mo Salah may be off to Saudi. How strange is that? Everybody's off to Saudi nowadays. Rudy Garcia from Napoli. Yeah, Dow, that's not a bad shout, my friend. But if Salah goes from Liverpool after they lost Sane, I mean, they're in deep poo. They're in deep poo. Jez, what's that famous P word to describe it? It's back. Yeah, prick. And he's back to prick settings, I'm afraid. And that is what I will be calling him. I know it upsets people. They don't like it, but I don't really care, to be honest. It's my personal view. I don't want people to agree with me. If they don't like it, I say it as it is. I've always said it. I just say my view, and that's it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not talking to you, Static. I'm talking about people out there on Twitter and God knows, out there, social media. David, mate, Jez, is Eddie the worst striker in the league? Last season, he was rated 86th. 86th in the league. And this is a striker that's going to lead Arsenal to greatness. I mean, are we serious about that? Are we seriously serious? 86th rated in the Premier League. Really? I just don't see it, man. Troy says Arteta would have got Villa relegated had he joined when Emery did. Arteta is a mug. Well, he's a teacup, that's for sure. But I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because I've got other things to go and do. Thanks for watching. Thanks for smashing the likes. And if you're new, please sub. I don't think there are any new watchers tonight. Hen Getty says, how about another assistant manager? Just give him 800 mil and maybe he will win. Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, let's just throw on another 800 million pounds. Because if I honestly will say to you this, if Unai Emery had that money, we'd have won the Premier League and probably got into the Champions League before we had. Seriously. It is what it is, and I'm just pissed off of it, guys. It's this start. We're third game into the season, and I'm already seeing problems. I'm already seeing problems that I don't like, and I will get angry and upset about it because I will call people out. I have done. I always do. And if I don't like what I see, I will tell them. And I'm not liking this at all. I just think it's going to be an absolute nightmare. I mean, dear God, when we get in that Champions League, seriously, if we come up against Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSV, playing that sort of shit setup, dear God almighty. I mean, it'll be just even an embarrassment. Static says, question, how many league goals will Nketiah get? I'll tell you, mate, if he used to play 20 starts, right, 20 starts this season, I reckon he'd probably get no more 10 to 11 goals. And that ain't good enough. If he used to play every game, start every Premier League game, and I'm just going to mention the Premier League, right? I don't think he would get more than 14 max. And that's been nice. That has been nice and positive. Seriously. But yeah. Cheers for being on, Jez. Enjoy the stream. Cheers, mate. Hope I haven't seen you streaming for a while. Laguna Gathering. Hope everything's okay. Angie's better than Arteta. I don't doubt that, man. I seriously don't doubt that. David Dindus was thinking 4 or 5. Yeah, I've been positive. I'm obviously being positive, man. Seriously. But Canterbury Guna, good to see you, my friend. Evening, Jez. Hope you're good, mate. I'm all good. Hope you are well. I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. So, Static says, Jez, fair enough, I agree. He needs to score double, 20 max. But he won't. No, he won't. He will not. Norwegian MOD, yeah, mods. We've been embarrassing for 20 years, so I'm used to it. Also, why I stopped watching the Arsenal. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I do. I get what you're saying, mate. We have been shite for far, far too long. And it hasn't helped, I'm sorry to tell you, having this bloody manager, because he ain't going to really take us anywhere. I'm sorry to say that. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll do the outro. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for all your great contributions. Sorry, great comments. It always helps the show blow and get better, because I'd love to get your opinions. You're the real fans. You say it as it is. And thanks all. Thank you very much. I'm back tomorrow. Arsenal Fulham pre-match review. And take care, everyone. Have a great evening. Catch you soon.